Alright, I'm going to do a walk around video, 2019 Berkshire 39A. So basically we're going to go around the outside, show you all the compartments, and then we'll go inside and go through the inside. See here. Cargo light switch is in the doorway. I'll show you that when we go inside. Down here you have a little storage with shelves, some extra tiles. This next storage has your slide out tray. Lift up on the blue handle. Little clicks, pull it out. There's your bunk ladder in there. And the slide out tray goes out both sides. Always close the back door first and open the front, and then open the front door first because they're overlapping. TV, stereo, remote for the TV. This is a locking compartment, has a separate key. The key is silver and it's got a tag on it. It says CH507. I don't know how well you can read that to lock it. Next compartment, again, is storage. Sorry about the fact that it hasn't been cleaned yet. Up here is a gas hookup. So if you want to hook up a gas grill or anything, hooks up just like an airline. It has an on-off valve right on it to shut it off. And then you can drop the line out through there so you can have it on with the compartment door closed. Our next bay is the back side of our wet bay. It's just a service access to the water tank and the black and the gray tanks. Next one back here is your house batteries. Have 4 deep cycle 6-volt batteries. You also have a battery disconnect switch up there and various relays and breakers on the wall in there. Next compartment back, you have a small storage area and the hydraulic pump and reservoir for your leveling system and for your front 2 slide outs. This pump runs all 4 jacks and 2 slide rooms. Back here is your Truma water heater. Right now I just plugged this back in. There is a little cord here. How well you can see this, but it's got a phone jack. Got a little tab on it to unplug it. Okay. Personal recommendation is leave this unplugged. I'll explain that when we go inside. I'm going to plug it back in, but there's a good reason to have that unplugged. Number one, it makes the water heater a whole lot simpler. When this black phone cord is unplugged, switch down is comfort, switch up is economy. When it's plugged in, it doesn't matter because it's got a controller inside. When it's in comfort mode, it'll keep this tank of water here hot at all times, which speeds up the amount of time it takes to get hot water. Basically the biggest difference. To drain it, you push up on this tab, pull this lever down. As it comes down, it's going to pull out a screened blocking filter, and you remove that and the water will come right out. And then you have your T&P valve up here. Your gas valve is down here, and your control board is behind that switch. This cover sets in slots. So basically you pick it up, line it up in the slots, push it straight down, put it closed, and then close the latch. Another storage compartment here. Good place for oil, DEF, extra stuff like that. Your rear engine compartment has locks up here on each side. It lifts up. And your power steering reservoir, engine oil dipstick, transmission dipstick, radiator reservoir, diagnostic port, engine oil fill, air filter restriction gauge. All pretty straightforward and simple. And then just close it down. And the key for this, like pretty much all the keys on this, except for that outside TV compartment, most every lock on this coach uses the same key, which is the round key, and that's your entrance door key as well. It's all master keyed together. I have to apologize for my bad camera angles, but I'm holding a tablet in one hand and doing this. So up there's our backup camera and our marker light, our third brake light, tail lights, turn signals, and backup lights. Down below, we have a 2-inch receiver and a standard 7-way trailer connector and our mud flap. On the passenger side are our engine starting batteries, and again a manual battery disconnect for when you put it in storage or when you're not going to use it for a period of time. Next compartment forward is where our power cord is. There's a hatch down there you can drop the cord out. There's a cable TV connection right here. So if you go somewhere with cable TV, you hook cable up to that. You got fuse boxes up here, solenoids, relays, your inverter, and your transfer switch. Your transfer switch is either generator power or shore power. It does have built-in surge protection. However, it's single event surge protection. So if it takes a hit, it blows up. So we do highly recommend installing a good quality surge protector in line. Your DEF tank is right here. Coming forward, pause for a second. Okay, we're back. Had to go grab something real quick. All right, coming across from our wet bay system here. This very black hookup right here is a hose connection, and that is for your black tank flush. That's to rinse your black tank out. So you want to rinse it out a few times a year. Some people rinse it every time. Some people hardly ever use it. On your call there. This here fitting is a hose connection. However, it does a couple different things, and that depends on this valve position. Normal is using your freshwater tank and water pump. If you are hooked to city water and you put this valve in tank fill, it will fill your freshwater tank. If you are camping, you put the valve down here to city fill, and that uses your fresh water from your hose to your system. If you put it to sanitize and winterize, what happens is this becomes a suction. You put a hose in here, drop it into antifreeze, turn the valve to sanitize, turn on the water pump, and you can pump antifreeze through the system to winterize it. Down here, all of these blue valves are cold water, and right above them, you can see what they control. Every one of those items is controllable from a valve here. So outside shower cold, water heater output or input, the shower input, your kitchen sink, bath sinks, washer, all of that, all of those valves, you can shut them off individually. So if you had a problem with the bathroom sink, the rear bath sink, you can just turn this valve off and it will shut the water off to the cold side of that sink. Down here, this valve is to drain the system. If you open this valve, it drains the cold water side. This filter housing is for a whole house water filter. It takes a KW1 element. And then over here, we have our hot water side. Again, everything is individually shut off, so we can shut off any one item and still use the rest of the coach. Outside shower, hot and cold control for the outside shower, and a hot water side drain to drain the hot water system. All right, I don't know how well you can see in here, but back in here is a valve, and that valve drains your fresh water tank. Here we have our black valve for the black tank, our gray valve for the gray tank, and our sewer hose hookup. Down there, that white wrench is for that filter. That black wrench is to remove your wheel liners, hubcaps. Okay, now up here is our precision flex panel. We hit select. We can turn the water pump on or off. We can check our tanks. Fresh water is full, LP half, gray and black are both empty. We can check our battery and house and chassis battery voltage. We can see what our generator is doing. And we can turn the water pump on or off. Off, on. Okay, pretty simple. All right, and here we have more storage. Again, it's just the other side of the storage. These little flat plates here are to go under your slide out rollers for the main slide. They're kind of an optional thing. Some people use them, some people don't. Back there are your slide out locks. What they are is they're like little turnbuckles. You put them between the slide out and the wall. When the slide out's in, tighten them up. What that does is keeps the slide out tightly sealed while you're traveling. Up here is your furnace. That's your combustion air intake and exhaust. Do recommend that you cover those with a screen in the summer when you're not using it, so that the bugs don't turn your furnace into a condo and then it not work when it gets cold. Again, this is your slide tray on this side. Lift up on the blue lever, pull it over. This is a screen curtain for the bunk. And again, same thing on the other side, overlapping doors. So you have to close the rear door first and open the front door first. Next compartment forward is a storage for sewer hose and your LP tank. This is your LP fill port where they fill it. This is the fixed liquid level gauge. They open this to check the level as it's coming up. And once it starts squirting liquid, they know the tank is correctly filled. You have a gauge down here, and it is wired so that you can check the LP from your monitor back there or inside. And then here's your on-off valve. With the on-off valve, it's always fully on or fully off, never in between. And under the cover is your LP regulator. Coming up front here, we have a fuse box, another fuse box there, a component locator, tells you what the fuses are in the box. There's some relays there. There is an air valve here with a shut-off. You can hook a hose up to this when the engine's running and use chassis air to air up tires or whatever. Keep in mind you can't go above chassis air pressure, which is normally around 120. This pull handle right here releases your generator, which is already out. This door again closes and locks with the same key for your fuel door as well. Okay, up front here we have our generator. We have our windshield washer bottle. We have a light up in here. We have our dash air conditioning and heat. On the generator, this yellow cap is your oil fill. It's also got your dipstick in it. The white cap is your antifreeze fill. It is a water-cooled generator. And there is a translucent bottle there so you can see the generator antifreeze level. The on-off switch right there is a circuit breaker. If that is off, the generator will run, but you'll get no electricity. Start and stop. Stop is also prime. So if we hold stop continuously, the light will come on. We are now running the fuel pump to prime the generator. If the generator hasn't been ran in several days, it doesn't hurt a bit to prime it for 30 or 40 seconds. Any excess fuel Goes right back to the fuel tank, so it doesn't hurt a thing. Start is also preheat. It will not crank until it preheats. So when you press start, you hold it. And it will not crank the engine until it's ready. So sometimes you have to hold it for a bit, depending on temperature. And again, you can see when it's ready, it starts. And it does not matter where you start the generator from, inside, out here, whatever, it will not crank until it completes preheat. Push this back in, just give it a good shove, and it'll latch. Windshield, marker lights, wipers, Berkshire light. You have a place for a front license plate. You have LEDs, headlights. Your passenger side fuel fill. You have a fuel fill on each side. They go to the same tank, so it doesn't matter which side you fill it from. Or you can do both sides at once. Your awnings. You have a switch here that has to be on. And then you got patio retract, patio extend, press extend, and the awning comes out. Now keep in mind the awning is on the slide out. So I tell people put the slide out first and then put the awning out, because if you put the awning out and there's something like that ladder over there, and then you put the slide out and it comes out another 2 feet and hits the ladder. But it's all automatic. Most all of these newer ones have motion sensors. They're not a wind sensor, they're a motion sensor. So if the awning shakes, it rolls up automatically. There are LEDs under the awning on the wall, and there's a switch here. It says exterior light. Press it once for awning, press it again, press it off, on, porch on, awning on, porch off, awning on, awning off. So depending on where you're at on the button cycle, sometimes it takes 4 button presses to shut everything off. Aisle lights, cargo lights. The cargo lights are the lights that are in your compartment. So we just turn them off. Kitchen ceiling, living room lights, and exterior lights, and light master. Light master turns all your interior lights off or on. Off or on. That's it. House battery power. When you're leaving the coach and you're going to be gone for a day or two, you can disconnect the batteries right here. If you're going to be gone for a long time, you want to use the battery disconnect at the batteries. Again, over here is your door awning extend and door awning retract. Now this one you have to hold the button. If I let go of the button, it stops. Press the button again, goes out. The same coming in. Hold the button. If I stop, okay. So the main awning will go out automatically and come in automatically. The door awning will not. I was showing you the keys. You have 2 locks on your door handle. You have a deadbolt and you have a handle lock. The handle lock uses this round key, says Trimark on it. Okay, that also does your gas fill, your hood, your rear engine cover, and all your compartment covers. This Trimark here has a squared component, and that is for your deadbolt, which is the top lock. The bag sitting here in the passenger seat is all your owner's manuals. You have a step cover that goes out and covers the step up. So when you're driving, you don't have to worry about slipping and falling down into the step well. And if you got pets, it's kind of nice to let the pets have that spot. We're going to go over the rest of these switches of the driver's area last. So, in order to put the slide outs out, we have to have the ignition on. we put the key in the ignition, turn the ignition on, and we walk back to the center of the coach. If you're on flat level ground, leveling is optional. I'm so used to the Integras and some of the other coaches that I've gotten used to always putting the slides out first. However, if the coach is twisted, you need the level first. But if you're on level ground, you're fine. This is your panel. Push the button that says slide out. Full wall out. Hold the button. And the main slide will go out. This one is hydraulic. And it does take a minute. Probably let you know because we're at 20 minutes right now. And I get about 32 minutes of film time on each file. So we will be doing multiple files for this coach. I'll try and get it done in 2, but it might take 3. Sofa dinette. Again, tap sofa dinette, hit out, and it puts out that slide out. And that also is a hydraulic slide. Last is your bed slide. Press the bed button, press out, and the bed goes out. Okay, we're going to come back to this panel because it does most everything. So I want to go down to the passenger side, slide out, and the front up here. These 2 rear panels are just removable panels. They do pop off. This panel here is on hinges. This panel here is on hinges. And up here is your Windshield antenna controller. And back there, how well you can see it, I don't know, that black panel that says Precision Plex, that is what your wireless hooks up to. This white switch panel with the green LED, there is a little black button next to that green LED. If we hit that button, it turns the LED off, and that turns your antenna off and puts you on cable TV. So I showed you that cable hookup in the rear corner where the power cord is. If you hook up the cable, you turn that switch there off. Coming across the front, we have more storage. And manuals. Up here, safety stickers. Okay, well, sorry about that. Got interrupted again. Okay, up here is our Euro loft. This is our bunk bed. That's where that ladder that's in the bay goes. Turn this key on, press the down button, and it comes down. And it will come down and stop. The net that I showed you hooks up there, slides into this track, and hooks up over there. Keep people from falling out of the bed. Doesn't stop you from rolling out the front. Put it back up, press the up arrow, and just hold it until it comes to a complete stop. And then you have your theater seating. And then little storage area. On the sides of the seats, there's a lever here. You pull the lever up to recline. One on each side. Up here, we have storage going across. Now, your pull out here has a button. It's right here. You have to press the button to unlock it and pull the countertop extension out. And then you have full-length drawers, your touch-up paint. And then just push it back in. When you push it back in, it'll latch. Above the sink, storage, adjustable shelf, more storage. Previous owner put these shelves in. Sink. Again, this coach has not been to detail yet, so it's not clean. I apologize for that, but we are swamped. Pull out here with a wastebasket in it and a drawer storage, and there's a little slot over there that you can put the sink covers and stove covers in when you're not using them. Cooktop. Lift the stove covers up, set them aside, turn the burners on, turn the clicker. There you go. You do not have to turn the clicker 200 miles an hour. Turn the burner on, give it a click. If it doesn't light, give it another click. Very simple. And you're all set. Put your stove covers back on, or store them if you want. Well, microwave is up above the stove. It is a convection microwave, so it does bake as well as microwave. For convection, you hit the convection button, and then down here on the bottom of the numbers are your temperatures. Like 5 is 300, 6 is 325, 7 is 350. Set your temperature. Multiplex light switch for the kitchen lights. Remote control for the vent. Drawers below the stove. Refrigerator. Ice maker. It does make ice. This right here is how you lock it for travel. There's a hole here. You thread that in, and that holds both doors shut when you're traveling. You have another pantry here. Same setup. It's got a push button down here, and you pull the pantry out and push it in, and it locks. Your LP and CO detectors down there. LP detectors. Simple thing. They are flammable vapor detectors. Any flammable vapor can set it off. Cleaning solvents, floor cleaners, hairspray, deodorants, cooking sprays, you name it, will set it off. Just a fact of life. It has a green LED on it, and it's quiet when it's happy. If it smells a flammable vapor, the LED turns red and it sets off an alarm. If it goes off, get out, get everybody outside, go shut your LP off, count heads, take a breath, relax. Come back inside and find out what's going on. Number one, look at the LED. Is it red or is it amber? If it's red, it smelled something flammable, period. Just about it. They are just like smoke detectors. They don't really fail that much. Okay? Not saying that they don't, but they don't often. If it's amber, that's a failure. The most common failure that we find in these is low battery voltage. All of these new coaches have LED lights and stuff. It's possible for your power to go out and you did not really notice that you lost power until the alarms go off. Okay? Because we have an inverter, and the inverter, when we get to that, I'm going to tell you, we run the inverter. We leave it on all the time we're using the coach so that if we lose power, the refrigerator still works, microwave still works, TV still work. The air conditioners won't. So if you lose air conditioning, it's because you lost power. But you can lose power in this coach and not know it until the alarms go off. You have in your back bedroom here, drawers all the way across the bottom, and a wardrobe on each side of the TV, and it is all the way across the back. So there's little doors here so that you can reach in to slide stuff over if you need to. And then this is a drop down in front of below the TV, has your TV remote in it. It has wiring for satellite antenna, for satellites, and for Blu-ray or anything like that if you want to add those. Another shirt wardrobe on this side, and then again you got drawers all the way across the bottom. Nice big mirror here. These sliding doors latch all the way open and latch closed. When they're latched, you pull down to release it, swing it across, it latches closed. It latches all the way open and it latches all the way closed. That's it. Same with the door going into the bedroom here. Okay? This hole in here is an engine access to get to the engine. There's some bolts underneath that you have to unlock to get it out. Your washer dryer is right here. Dryer up here on the top. It is just a small apartment sized dryer, and same with the washer. Your toilet. The instructions are on the lid. This is an emergency escape window. If you have to jump out, you yank that red handle to pull the screen out, pull this handle, push down, in, out, and give it a shove. Now you can put it part way out for ventilation, or you can swing it all the way out to go out. When you close it, pull it back in, handle down, and lock it. Above the toilet, little storage cabinet. The toilet control is right here. Large button is a large flush. Push the button and it flushes. Small button, small flush. Got a water pump switch, a fan lid, and fan, vanity lights, ceiling lights, and a temperature sensor for your thermostat. Your shower. Bathroom sink, storage below, cabinet here, towels, whatever, medicine cabinet here. Now, we were talking in the water heater. That black control cable goes to this controller. Turn it on here, you get a solid light. That is normal. Turn it up to another click, that's economy. Okay? I still suggest you unplug this because down here are clean and the decalcify. If you turn it into those modes by mistake, you lose the water heater for an hour or two till you get it back to normal. The other thing I don't like about this switch personally is that the water heater can be shut off from other locations, and this water heater only works with this switch if it's turned on in the proper order. So if I have it turned on at that switch and I shut my water heater off at